putting pen to paper in Bogotá. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos has given the official seal of approval for a new bill to compensate the desplazados, those displaced by the country's civil war.
Today is a historic day. We all know it. It's a day of national hope in which not just Colombians, but the entire world are witnesses of the proposals of a state that in the name of a society is willing to pay a moral debt, a debt that has been postponed for a long time, a debt to the victims of violence.
It's more than a moral debt. The law would financially compensate relatives of murder victims and return land stolen by paramilitaries, guerrilla groups and drug lords. Santos has made the bill the feature piece of his presidency, but analysts fear the victims' law might lead to violence against the landowners if they return. They also estimate it could take 10 years to see any benefits, and even then it could cost the country close to $20 billion. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon, on a 2-day visit, pledged support.
The United Nations will do all it can to support the government and the victims in their efforts to build lasting democracy, peace and reconciliation. The job has just begun.
Almost 50 years of civil war has internally displaced 3.6 million people. That's the second highest number of internally displaced in the world, second only to Sudan. The Marxist-inspired FARC has done much of the damage as it fights to overthrow the government. Santos and his predecessor Álvaro Uribe have struck the FARC heavy blows, freeing its most valuable hostages and killing its top leaders. Paramilitary groups and warring cartels added to the country's woes. The turmoil has cost countless lives. Mass graves are still being discovered. It's also left a legacy of landmines, child soldiers and hostage-taking. Human rights groups have accused successive Colombian governments of failing to protect displaced survivors, denying them access to education, healthcare and aid. It's taken decades, but it's more than one step towards laying Colombia's demons to rest. Soraya, Lennie, Al Jazeera.